I'll introduce some lenses to you, ways of looking at human behavior so that you can understand them better. And the first one that we'll use is the broad issue of self-awareness. So if you consider this simple 2x2, we have here what others see and don't see, and here on the vertical axis we have things that you see or don't see. So in this northwest cell, what would you call that information where there's agreement between what you see in yourself and what others see in you? We could, of course, call this public information. If you think then about the northeast cell here, what would you call things that you understand or see and that other people don't? So this would be our level 2 awareness that we choose not to reveal to others. We could call them secrets, we could call them private information. It's the stuff that we don't share with others. Now, of course, let's acknowledge that sometimes our behavior leaks. We don't intend to let other people see what we're thinking or doing, but sometimes we do that anyway. And down here in the southeast corner, we have things that neither of us see, maybe some Freudian swamp with demons and dragons and snakes and whoever, who knows what else lives down in there, our subconscious behavior. Actually, we've done a lot of research over the last 100 years, and we know that there are three fundamental pieces of the human brain. There's the original, what we call reptilian section, and then there's a more mammalian section, physiologically, we call the limbic system. And then there's this neocortex that was developed later in the evolutionary cycle, which houses more of our conscious behavior. So what Freud may have called the id, the things that drive our instincts, may be housed in some of these early evolutionary physiological structures in the brain, and some of the more social activities and drives that came out of our mammalian history. There are actually a great deal of knowledge about what's happening down in this southeast corner. But more importantly for our current understanding is, what about this southwest corner? What would you call things that other people see that we don't see? The answer, of course, is blind spots, and we could ask the question I have all over the world, how many of you have blind spots? Everyone raises their hand. Of course, it's a cheap joke because how do you know you have blind spots? If they're blind spots, you can't see them. Well, many people say my spouse, my good friends, my parents tell me that I have these blind spots. And so we do things that maybe we don't realize how they're affecting other people. And to the extent that we have these blind spots, these areas in our rear view mirror where we can't quite see what's happening behind us as we go through life, they may be good things, they may be dysfunctional things that are actually undermining our ability to influence others effectively. So over time, we would hope that our blind spots would diminish, that we would somehow be able to reduce them and increase our ability to be aware of how we're affecting others. Of course, if you go to family reunions and you observe your elderly grandparents or aunts and uncles, most people would say that doesn't seem to be happening. If anything, they go the other way. They become more like they used to be rather than less. So in that sense, I would argue that age is no guarantee of wisdom. A good colleague describes aging as becoming more so. If we were a little bit judgmental in midlife, then as we become older, we become more so. Or if we're a little more forgiving and kind to others as we get older, maybe we become more so. So I invite you to think about in your own life, in your own management of your behavior and your attempts to influence others, whether you have functional and dysfunctional blind spots, how you might develop a process in life to uncover those blind spots and therefore be better able to manage them. Of course, we use in the world 360 feedback systems is one way of doing that. Giving performance reviews, receiving performance reviews is another way we do that. Intimate conversations with people who know us well and are willing to give us honest feedback, not a very common thing. But if you can get honest feedback from people you trust and respect, and you're open to that, as many people are not, part of your personal characteristic patterns, if you're open to that, then you might be able to do something about it. You could choose to manage your own behavior and the kind of reactions that you get from people around you.